The Khamzat fight's what I want. I want to take his It's not even a doubt in my mind. Khamzat is a strong guy, but I know for a fact that he's never felt like this. In this case, he has become another tank when it comes to his strength. There's not a middleweight that's going to overpower me. It's not going to happen.
Dricus du Plessis has just kicked off his final training camp ahead of his upcoming clash with Khamzat Chimaev. On the other hand, Khamzat Chimaev was also seen sparring brutally in recent training footage, showcasing his trademark intensity and relentless pressure. Known for his aggressive style, Chimaev pushed his sparring partners to the limit, mixing powerful strikes with dominant grappling. However, Dricus du Plessis is training with intensity, focusing on striking, grappling, and conditioning to prepare for his next fight. His sessions highlight explosive combos and relentless cardio work. Alongside physical prep, DDP is sharpening his fight IQ and strategy, aiming to evolve as a well-rounded contender. His training reflects a clear drive toward middleweight championship success. Moreover, Brendan Schaub suggested that a showdown between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis has the potential to be an all-time classic in the middleweight division. He highlighted du Plessis' resilience and well-rounded game, while noting that questions about Chimaev's stamina seem to be behind him. However, Schaub pointed out that if Chimaev fails to secure an early finish, du Plessis could take control as the fight wears on.
Am I a prisoner of the moment? I feel like DDP Khamzat is one of the greatest middleweight competitions to ever happen in the UFC. You got Khamzat undefeated, boogeyman, DDP already a middleweight great in the prime of his career. I have no clue how this is gonna fold out. No clue. Gun to the head, DDP is so good, so durable, so big, and just finds a way to win. He's just an absolute winner. He's one of my faves. And he's so unorthodox. And they have Khamzat, this boogeyman. Obviously, cardio was an issue for him back in the day. I'm here to tell you now, I've personally, with these peepers, have seen the man train. Cardio is not an issue. But that's all predicated on, let's say Khamzat goes in there and tries to get DDP down in the first 2 rounds and can't get it done, and he gets tired. DDP in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th will finish him, you know? So I'm interested to see what Khamzat's game plan is.
Mike Perry pointed out that fans are divided, with some supporting Khamzat Chimaev and others backing Dricus du Plessis. He mentioned that Khamzat trains in developed environments like Sweden and California, while Dricus comes from harsh and demanding conditions in Africa. Perry described du Plessis as an iron boulder, calling him awkward, skilled, and extremely tough to stop. He expressed doubt that Khamzat will be able to break him easily.
Some people are like, oh, Khamzat all day. Some people are like, DDP all day. You know, Khamzat trains in like Sweden and like California, and Dricus trains in the trenches of Africa. I think DDP is just this awkward boulder. He's just an iron boulder. Khamzat has skills. He's gonna jump on the back. He's gonna pull some backpack.
Yeah, he's gonna like he tried on Rob, but I don't think you're gonna be able to, like you just said, dude. He is just like an iron boulder. Like, he's gonna survive. It's gonna end up being like the Gilbert Burns and Khamzat fight.
However, Dricus du Plessis is in a high-intensity training camp focused on countering Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling-heavy approach. He's working with elite wrestlers to refine his takedown defense, improve scrambles, and control the clinch, while also sharpening his striking to exploit Chimaev's forward pressure. He's ramping up his cardio to stay strong through all 5 rounds, with a strategy built around dragging the fight into deep waters. Both physically and mentally, du Plessis is preparing for a battle that could mark the biggest moment of his career.
And yeah, we combined our strength with muscle endurance, also with a little bit of cardio work. Always end off or do some cardio intervals in between rounds of strength. to get the muscle endurance going. Cardio is a big part of our sport, and the reason we don't do too much cardio in our strength sessions is purely because of the way every single training session we do, if you wrestle, if you grapple, if you do stand up, any sport-specific training you do, there's already a lot of cardio. So we try to stay away from that to keep the cardio more specific to the fighting and use our sessions we do have strength and conditioning sessions to.
Moreover, Caio Borralho admitted he usually doubts Dricus du Plessis, but is often proven wrong when it matters most. He gave Khamzat Chimaev a 60% chance to finish the fight early through intense pressure in the first 2 rounds, but believes du Plessis has a solid 40% chance to survive and use his size and power to shift the momentum.
This is crazy because I always bet against DDP and he always shut my mouth. But I'm feeling like this can be a fight as fast as the fight with Khamzat and Whitaker, like finishing the first round or beginning of the second round, you know. 60% of me say that Khamzat will finish this fight like real fast, but 40% says that Dricus, with his size and height and his weight, he's a big guy for the division. I think he can stop the takedowns or even survive the first 2 rounds, and then the fight gets better for him. So I'm 60-40 on these 2 options.
Sean O'Malley shared his excitement for the du Plessis versus Chimaev clash. After rewatching Dricus' fight with Israel Adesanya, he was struck by how dominant Izzy was until the 4th round, which left a strong impression as O'Malley headed into training.
DDP versus Khamzat. What is that, like 2-3 weeks? Like,
yep.
Holy. I just actually watched DDP versus Israel this morning before practice. And dude, Izzy was looking so good in that fight. Like, I remember watching it and thinking, like, I only had rewatched it just this one time, but watching it live, I remember thinking like Izzy looked good, and I kind of, for the most part, dominating the fight. And then that 4th round just kind of got hit up top on the head and just, you know, went downhill real fast from there. But God, Izzy was looking good in that fight. So I'd like to see Izzy come back. Izzy versus Sean 2 would be sweet. But yeah, Khamzat versus DDP is very exciting for me right now.
Luke Rockhold noted that while Khamzat Chimaev is a powerful wrestler with solid ground control, his past cardio issues could be a liability. He believes Dricus du Plessis' toughness and relentless pace may give him the edge if the fight goes beyond the early rounds.
Somebody who's seen a lot of mixed martial arts, you do the Jackson podcast, Santos Studios. Right now, Khamzat Chimaev, the Wolf, he is there training. You've grappled with him. He's got a big fight against DDP, Dricus du Plessis, someone you've had a lot of rounds with. After feeling both those men, how does that fight play out?
We'll see how it plays out. You know, I think Khamzat is very good at wrestling. He's very good on the ground. He's very good at pressure. The longevity of the fight, it hasn't been his best approach. So you see with Usman, you see with Gilbert. Tough test. I've put a lot of rounds in with DDP, and he don't go away. So unless he gets to him early, it's gonna be tough late.
So if he doesn't put him away early, it's a DDP type of fight.
I think that's the way the DDP goes. You know, he manages to get through, weathers the storms, and he keeps going. That's what champions do, and that's why DDP's on top.
Michael Bisping observed that Chimaev looks in top shape with noticeably improved endurance. He commended du Plessis for his willingness to engage on the ground and highlighted his strong grappling, knockout power, and better stamina following nose surgery. Bisping expects an intense fight fueled by their growing rivalry and is curious to see if Chimaev can rise to the occasion in his first title shot.
Well, we've seen him on social media, if you follow the same accounts, just killing himself in training, doing a tremendous amount of cardio work. So I think he's going to come in with a better gas tank. However, Dricus du Plessis, I mean, you cannot doubt this guy. And he said he wants to fight Khamzat on the ground. He said everyone else tries to avoid going to the ground with him. He said, I want to fight the best version of him. I want to test my skills against his on the ground. He's not intimidated. There's videos of Dricus du Plessis online taking on an entire Gracie Barra black belt team and submitting them all one by one. He's big, he's strong, he can wrestle, he's got great judo, he's got knockout power, he's had a nose job, so he's got a great gas tank now as well. You know, this is and they hate each other. They absolutely hate each other. And Boris, the Wolf, the bike bad guy coming in has talked such a good game, and he's such a good villain. He finally gets the shot at the belt. You know, can he do it? Can he pull it off? Can he live up to all the hype?
John Unik called Du Plessis versus Chimaev the biggest fight in MMA right now, praising the tension, build-up, and how it perfectly reflects elite UFC matchmaking. He promised fans an unforgettable showdown when the two meet in Chicago.
Just another quick one on a big fight as well coming up with Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev. Obviously, that's a big one. How do you break that one down?
That's the best fight we can make. Khamzat Chimaev finally in a championship setting. That is the #1 fight in the sport. Total chaos. I'm trying to not cuss here. I can't imagine a better matchup when they lock the door behind those guys. It's bulletproof matchmaking, and we'll see you guys mid-August in Chicago.
Gilbert Burns, who has trained with Du Plessis, described him as durable, powerful, and hard to finish. He expects Khamzat to start aggressively, but believes Dricus has the composure and stamina to take over as the fight wears on. Burns predicts Du Plessis will retain his title.
I train with Dricus a lot. Dricus is actually a very, very good fighter. Crazy cardio, very physically strong. He's a very hard fight to predict. You know, I think Chimaev is going to start very strong, like he always do. I do believe Dricus can kind of slow him down, don't get submitted, relax a little bit. But I do believe Dricus, if he get past that first round, I think that's the hardest part. What I think he will do, I think he's gonna pass, and then he's gonna be a nightmare for Chimaev. I think Dricus is a monster, hits very hard, doesn't break, good gas tank. I do believe Dricus is gonna beat Chimaev and remain the champion.
Michael Venom Page praised Chimaev for his elite skills and star quality, but said Du Plessis' ability to keep winning despite a chaotic style makes him equally dangerous. Page pointed to Dricus' mental toughness and unpredictability as factors that make this matchup especially hard to call, highlighting the clash of two very different but elite fighters.
DDP and Khamzat, who do you reckon is going to win in that? Man, that one there. I would love to. You trained with Khamzat as well? Yeah, and you know what? I always say, seeing somebody as special in person when they're training, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and it just inspires me more because he's exceptional in a completely different area to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm very good in my area as well. When you were training with 100%, and you know, there's certain people that demand the room. Yeah. He walks in and he demands the room. You know, everybody. He's just, you can tell he's a superstar. Yeah. But he's so good in his area, and just watching it, I was just like, yeah, it's unbelievable. I appreciate it. Like I said, it inspires me to go and, you know, push myself more. Yeah. But saying that in terms of coming to the fight, DDP is somebody that is the complete opposite. I don't get how he keeps winning. As in, he's not a person I look at and think, oh man, super talented. And obviously there's something about him because he keeps winning. And sometimes even that is an art, knowing how to win. Do you reckon it's psychological that he's got tremendous will? He has to be well trained, obviously, and he does do things, but he just seems messy to me. But at the same time, you have to give him his flowers. You have to give him his respect because he's still winning. And this is that every time I put my money against him, shall I say, yeah, he always comes up on top. So it's just, I would normally say Khamzat would win this fight. Yeah. But it's just hard to say, man. He's just a person that this is very, very exceptional fight.
Mateusz Gamrot described the Chimaev versus Du Plessis fight as an intriguing matchup. He praised Chimaev's high-level wrestling and physical strength, while also expressing admiration for Du Plessis, mentioning positive interactions with him. However, Gamrot admitted he doubts Du Plessis can neutralize Chimaev's grappling and slightly favors Chimaev to come out on top.
Oh, this is interesting matchup. Chimaev is really high-level wrestler, and he is strong. I like Dricus. He meet a couple times. It's hard to prediction, but I don't think so that Dricus will stop wrestling Chimaev. And I think maybe Chimaev will beat this guy.
Jamahal Hill revealed he's backing Du Plessis in this matchup, impressed by the South African's history of exceeding expectations. He praised Du Plessis' excellent stamina, strong physicality, and unorthodox striking style that could disrupt Chimaev's flow. Hill also pointed out that Chimaev tends to fade in longer fights, potentially giving du Plessis an edge as the rounds go on. Still, he warned not to underestimate Chimaev's innate grappling skills, which remained a serious threat throughout the fight.
I probably favor DDP in that one, just for the simple fact of I've doubted this dude so many times now, and he's shut me up bad every time. It may look like he's like fatiguing or he's like slowing down, but he's really not. I think he's got the better cardio. His physical strength, I believe, can pose a problem for anybody in that division. We've seen Khamzat fade over the course of rounds before. I just believe Dricus has a really, really awkward way of throwing strikes that's not easy to time, get a read on. So I believe he will land. So I probably lean more towards DDP, but you can't count a guy like Khamzat out. I believe he's one of the best natural pure grapplers. He does have the ability to throw some hands too. So it's interesting.
Alexander Gustafsson praised Chimaev's wrestling and ground control, highlighting these skills as a major advantage going into the fight. While acknowledging that du Plessis might have a size and physical strength edge, Gustafsson believes Chimaev's sheer power more than balances it out. He emphasized the difference in grappling experience and technique, suggesting that Chimaev's superior control and takedown ability could prove overwhelming for du Plessis.
You're like 2-3 weight classes above him. How strong is he? Because I've seen like he's a good training partner for you.
Yeah, no, he's very natural, strong, you know, and he has very strong genes, and he just comes with raw power, you know. All his power just comes from nature, you know.
Just natural.
Right? Natural, yeah. So guys, to get the full All-Stars experience.
Azamat Bakoev noted that a lot of fans still tend to underestimate du Plessis, even though he's the reigning champion. He praised Chimaev's top-level abilities and his track record of defeating elite opponents, but stressed that this fight is one of the most evenly matched title bouts seen in recent times. While Bakoev acknowledged the strengths of both fighters, he slightly favored Chimaev, describing the matchup as too close to predict confidently, but giving Chimaev a slight edge.
Everybody underestimate like the champion Dricus du Plessis, but I think it's going to be not easy fight for Khamzat Chimaev. But Khamzat Chimaev also strong. He like destroyed a lot of like fighters, and but I still like think it's going to be close fight, and who knows who's gonna win? Maybe 55%. So it's like Chimaev, like that.
Tim Welch pointed out Chimaev's growth as a fighter, especially in his mental toughness and control against elite opponents. He mentioned he's curious to see Chimaev take on someone like Sean Strickland down the line, given Strickland's strong defensive skills. Regarding du Plessis, Welch highlighted that his unpredictable style can throw opponents off mentally. He added that if du Plessis manages to get inside Chimaev's head, the fight could turn chaotic and emotionally intense, potentially changing the course of the battle.
I would love to see Khamzat versus Strickland too. Khamzat said in training, I submitted him multiple times. In a fight, it's a little different. And Strickland, you've seen Strickland get dumped before. He is an expert at getting up. He's really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu. But just like you said, can you survive the first 3 minutes with that dude? Gnarly.
That's fire.
I miss the crazy Khamzat, but now that he's getting into these top 5 elite guys, I mean, it's probably better that he's not crazy Khamzat.
Dude, I mean, that looked like crazy Khamzat to me.
All week being respectful of press conferences, respectful of like everything.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than he used to be.
DDP has a way of poking at opponents too, though, so he might be able to pull that crazy Khamzat back out of him.
I'd love to see DDP beat him.
Bo Nickal emphasized the ongoing importance of dominant grappling in modern MMA, highlighting Khamzat Chimaev as a prime example of how elite wrestling can control the tempo and flow of high-level fights. He also mentioned Islam Makhachev and Merab Dvalishvili as part of a rising group of fighters who are transforming the sport through relentless pressure and superior ground control.
Just based on the styles, I just think the grappling style, you know, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking, but his background is wrestling. You know, he did that before anything else. And so it's really wrestlers that are dominating, grapplers that are dominating the sport right now. And so I think that I would give the edge to Khamzat.
Nikal also pointed out that while grappling is a significant advantage, experience in the later rounds is equally important. He acknowledged that Dricus du Plessis has demonstrated the ability to remain calm and effective well into championship rounds. Should the fight go the distance, Nikal believes du Plessis' endurance and performance under fatigue could be a decisive factor.
But we still have yet to see Khamzat ever fight a fourth and a fifth round. We've seen that from DDP, and so that's where he would have the advantage. You know, if it goes deep, fourth and fifth round, I think that DDP might be able to pull it out. But you know, all in all, I think the grappling style is definitely an overwhelming style to try to deal with.
Ilia Topuria offered a balanced perspective, showing respect for both competitors. He praised Chimaev's aggressive, fearless style and his tendency to seek finishes instead of leaving outcomes to the judges. Topuria believes Chimaev has earned his shot at the title. Although he has personal ties to both fighters, Topuria said that as an MMA fan, he's excited for the matchup and hopes both athletes deliver strong performances.
He's the man. He's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a fucking beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, it's gonna be a very exciting fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
Kamaru Usman shared his thoughts on facing Khamzat Chimaev, emphasizing how tough it is when Chimaev takes early control and applies pressure from behind. He explained that escaping this position is extremely challenging due to Chimaev's powerful grip, which has been key to his submission victories in the past. Usman questioned whether Chimaev could employ the same strategies against du Plessis, given that du Plessis poses a distinct and unique challenge compared to Chimaev's previous opponents.
Khamzat Chimaev on your back round one is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in, and that goes to show how strong of a squeeze this freaking dude had.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus du Plessis? Because I will say this.
1000%.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their fight? We would love to hear your thoughts on this clash. So share your thoughts in the comment section, and also make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen.